everyone, welcome to Pilates. This week I'm going to use a TheraBand or a flex band if you have one available. If you don't have one, don't worry about it. All exercises can be performed without it. And if you're more comfortable with a pillow behind your head, by all means feel free to use one. We're going to start lying down on our back. So knees are bent. And we're going to start by bringing both hands up to the ceiling. Imagine somebody's got a hold of your wrist and they pull them up, 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 up. And now they let go. So both shoulders are heavy and against the mat. And now one by one we're going to pick some grapes just overhead. So one arm's going to reach a little higher and then pull it back, and then the other. And back. So working on retracting or pressing that shoulder blade against the mat as you come back. And switch. Let's go two more. And one more. And now both shoulders nice and heavy. And we're going to bend the elbows in. So press, press, press the elbows into the mat. And then just open up the forearm. So we're going to bring the top of your hands to the back of the mat. And now let's just give yourselves a little bit of a double chin. We're going to press the head and press the back of the hands and the elbows into the mat. And relax. Let's do that two more times, keeping the ribs nice and heavy. Just going to press and relax. And one more time, gentle press, head, arms, hands, and relax. If it's okay to bring your hands behind your head, we're going to go there for a little extra support. And if that doesn't feel good, just bring them across your chest and keep pressing the head into the floor. Don't worry about lifting if it causes any stress. We're going to start by pressing the head into the floor, pressing the elbows into the floor. Stay heavy through the ribs and relax. Let's go one more time. Double chin, looking at the knees. Widen out through the elbows, low grade press with the head, ribs are heavy. And now we're just going to think about lifting the head up. So don't lift your head if it's any sort of stress to your neck. But if you're okay, think about, still looking at the knees, think about letting the head float up. Might be a little easier if you wrap your elbows around your head, but make sure that you're not pulling on that head. Your abs are doing all the work to lift and lower. Let's go three more. Just gonna keep looking at the knees as we let that head come up towards the knees. And then let it become heavy and sink down. If you want to make it a little harder, the elbows just go out a little wider. Let's go two more. And down. And very last one. Up. We're gonna hold it there for 3 and 2 and 1 and down. Perfect. We're going to take the left hand down to our side, slide that left hand down towards your feet. The right elbow is as wide as it can be, and we're going to use the abs to lift your shoulder towards your opposite knee. And then let it become heavy and release. Trying to keep that elbow as wide as you can as you lift, but if you need a little more help, you can bend the elbow. But we want to make sure it's coming from the abs and not by lifting that head up with your hands. And down. And just one more time, directing that shoulder towards the opposite knee. And down. And now let's switch side. The left hand goes behind the head. The right hand slides down towards the feet. Elbows are as wide as you're comfortable. We're going to use the abs to lift that shoulder towards the opposite knee. And then let it become heavy and sink down. And just 3 more, letting the abs do all the work to lift that shoulder. The hands just there for support. And down. 2 more. Up. And down. And very last one. Up. And down. Perfect. We come up towards your hands. Slide your hands down towards your feet. Keep that double chin and then widen out through the shoulders. Little energy in the toes now, really squeezing the glutes to protect your back as you lift the hips up into bridge position. And now while you're here squeezing the glutes, make sure you're breathing. Nice deep breaths. 4, 3, 2, and down. And one more time, squeeze the glutes, energy in the toes, lift the hips. And now the goal is to keep the hips as still as possible as we unweight one foot. And now release that foot down. And now stay even through the hips as you unweight the other foot. And gently release it down. One more on each side, lift and lower. And very last one, really focusing on those nice level hips. And down and release. Perfect. From here we're going to bring the arms or the legs up into bent knee position, arms out to the side like an airplane. Take a second to press the arms into the floor. And now imagine you have that $100 bill right between your knees and you don't want it to fall out. We're going to take a big breath in and let the knees fall over to the right. When you do that, left shoulder stays heavy. If at some point the left shoulder lifts up, you know you've gone far enough. Exhale, hold. And now big breath in, keeping the knees together as we come up and over to the other side, keeping that opposite shoulder as heavy as possible. Exhale, hold. And now deep breath in through the nose as we come up and over. I'm going to give you an option, only an option. If you want to make it a little harder, we straighten the legs, bend the knees, and roll. Shoulders are heavy. Again, totally optional. If you want to add that straighten and bend, feel free. If that doesn't feel good, keep the bent knee up and over. 2 more. Just going to straighten, bend, and roll. And very last one, straighten, bend, and roll. Perfect. From here we're going to take our hands down to the side for a little extra support, widen out through the shoulders. And now we're going to start by making little circles with the knees. So just drawing circles, invisible circles. You should feel the muscles wake up around your low abs. And let's pause and reverse. Just 3 and 2. Very last one. And now if that's getting to be intense and you need a rest, hold on to your knees and just take a break. If you're okay to make it a little harder, we'll straighten the legs in. Same movement, we're making 3 circles, so corkscrew. Pull, the legs are just drawing those invisible circles in the sky. 2 and 1. Good job. And pause and reverse. Let's go the other way. 3 and 2 and 1. Awesome. Draw the knees in, give it a little hug, little shake back and forth to release the low back. If at any time you need to put the feet down and take a rest, by all means take that opportunity. And now we're going to keep picking on those low abs or making them stronger to protect our back. So the first thing we want to do is press your rib cage into the mat. It might help to bring your knees closer to the chest to really get that connection. We're going to point the toes, and with just the right leg, keeping the ribs as heavy as we can, we're going to extend the right leg all the way up. And now just lower it down to that point that you feel like it's a challenge to keep your ribs flat, but they're not lifting away. And then let that knee come in. And same thing on the other side. Up, anchor the rib cage, lower it down to that point that you feel challenged, but you're safe. And tuck. We've got 4 more. Up, lower it down to that point that it feels a little bit challenging, but you're still keeping it anchored and in. So it's the low ribs that we want to keep anchored. And down. And tuck. Let's go 2 more. And lower it down. And tuck. And very last one. And tuck. Good job. Now we're going to hold behind the knees, or if it doesn't feel good to roll up this way, you can roll over to the side to come up. So we're going to start by getting a little momentum, letting the knees come up, the head come up and down. Same movement, only a little faster. And see if you can come up to that balance point and then all the way up. And now here's where the rubber band comes in. But again, if you don't have one, just do the arm movement or use a couple soup cans to mimic the movement. We're going to wrap the rubber band around the heel side of the foot, pointing the toes a bit. If it's down towards your heels, you know it won't slip away. We're going to start by threading the rubber band from your little baby finger up through your thumb. Anchor the elbows to the rib cage so you're squeezing those elbows in, $100 bills under both arms. And now look down at your belly button and lean back until you find that point that you feel like you're challenged. So it's wherever your body lets you go. And then from here we're just going to do some bicep curls, bringing the thumbs to the shoulder and release. And 2 and release. Keep breathing and 3 and release. We have 3 more. Keep breathing, 2 more. And very last one. Perfect. Okay, sit up tall on the sitting bones. And now we're going to bring both knuckles together and press them together with a little energy. Movements to move the tailbone forward. The body initiates the movement and starts to lean back, and then the hands just follow, coming right to the middle of the chest. And then squeeze your inner thighs together, press into the feet, come up and release the arms. So the body moves first, leaning back, and the arms follow. And then the inner thighs squeeze, we come up, and the arms release. Let's go 3. Push the tailbone forward, lean back to whatever that point is that you feel challenged, but your feet are still nice and flat against the mat, and squeeze and up. 2 more. Big breath in, exhale, lean back. And up. And the very last one, all the way back. And up. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to shake hands with the rubber band. So the rubber band's going through the palms and through the fingers on the inside. Sit as tall as you can on the sitting bones. And we're just going to try to squeeze those elbows together like we're trying to squeeze them together behind our back, squeezing those shoulder blades, and relax. And let's go 2 big squeeze, sitting tall on the sitting bones, and release. And 3, squeeze, and release, and just 3 more. 3, and release, and 2 more. Squeeze, and release, and very last one. Good job. Okay, now we're going to cross the rubber band over our feet. Palms are up like we're hitchhiking. Elbows are tight to the side. You can either stay seated upright if you're feeling any stress in your back, or you can lean back a little bit until you wake that core up just a wee bit. And then once you're here, we're just going to hitchhike. The thumbs come away from your body, but the elbows stay tight and in and up. So again, the body initiates the movement. We start to lean back, and then we just open up the doors, working those rotator cuffs, and up nice and tall. And let's go 3 more. And release. And just 2 more. And release. And very last one. And up. Perfect. Uncross the rubber band. We're going to bring our arms out to the side. You might have to widen them a bit. And then we're just going to imagine just scraping your knuckles to the floor and back. And release. So just working those long muscles of your back and your triceps, pressing back and release. Big breath in to prepare. Exhale, back and release. Let's go one more. All the way back and release. Perfect. Okay, from here we're going to lower ourselves down to the floor. So let's just take the rubber band, we'll put it on our thigh because we'll use it in a moment. And we're going to look down at our belly button and just start to push that tailbone forward and lean back. Gravity will be your friend here. We'll all get down. Low back, middle back, shoulder, and head. Perfect. Once you get down here, we're going to bend that left leg. The right leg we're going to fold into the chest and put the rubber band around the heel side of the foot. If it's around your toe, it might slip off, and we don't want that to happen. If you feel better with a pillow behind your head, by all means. We want to bring that knee in until you feel the ribs nice and flat, elbows are nice and tight to your side, and then we're going to press that rubber band away. And with control, steer that knee in towards your shoulder. So trying to get that full range of motion with the knee. And then press it away. See how far you can press like there's something just out of reach. And tuck. And totally optional. If anyone wants more upper ab work in your neck's okay, you could let the head lift when the leg extends and then let it release and relax. Let's go 3 more. And relax. 2 more. And relax. And on this very last one, we're going to hold it here. If your head's up, let it come down again and relax. And we're going to bring that straight leg, pushing that up leg up as straight as you possibly can, up towards the chest. And just keep pressing into that rubber band and make your leg as long as you can. It's far better quality to have your leg be straight and down here than to bend it and bring it up here. So really try to work on that leg being straight. And now from here we're going to soften that knee just a wee bit and then bring your other arm to the side for counterbalance, and we're going to let that leg fall out to the side. So just stretching those muscles on the inner part of the thigh. And all you need here is gravity. With every exhale, that leg's going to get heavier and heavier. And open that hip up just a little bit more. So just keep breathing into it. Let that leg relax and release. Let's take a couple more breaths, noticing where there's any sort of tension. And now use your abs, engage the abs to bring that leg up. And now if you've had a hip replacement, just stay here and keep stretching. If that's not an issue, turn your little baby toe towards your opposite ear and see if you can cross. So you're bringing that rubber band into your other hand. So if it's your right leg, it's in your left hand, and just crossing midline. Should get a nice stretch up through the IT. And remember, we did the piriformis last week. It's a good complement stretch to that rolling of the ball. So nice deep, deep breathing. Straight leg. There might be a little neurotension, and that's okay. But if anything has radiating or you feel a lot of pain, just get out of the stretch. Make sure that everything feels good. There should never be any extreme pain with stretching. It's to the point of stimulation, so we should feel something, but it should never be a youch. Okay, from here we're just going to switch feet. So we're going to lift that other foot up, bring it in the rubber band, draw that knee in towards your opposite shoulder, or to your same shoulder, so left leg, left shoulder, elbows are tight to your side. The tighter your rubber band is, the harder your legs have to work. You decide, and we're going to reach that leg right across the room, keeping the ribs heavy, and then guiding that knee in towards the shoulder. And press it away. And with control, draw it in. This is an exercise to help strengthen the knee, but it's also a really good mobilizer to warm up those hips. Let's go 3 more. If anyone wants to lift their head with this, you can. It's just an option, or you can keep it down the whole time. Very last one. Now on that last one, make sure your head's down, your legs straight. We're going to bring that straight leg up towards the chest. Pressing into the rubber band, trying to create as much length as you can. So if you're on your left leg, the band's in your left hand and the right arm comes out to the side for a little counterbalance. We're going to soften the knee and just let that leg fall open to the side. And all we need to do here is breathe and let the weight of that leg open your hip up. So nice, deep exhalations. Try to find any sort of tension and breathe into it. We're trying to keep that opposite hip as heavy as you can. So try not to lift the hip as you let that leg open. The hip stays heavy. Let's do one more deep breath, breathing right into the tension, and then engage the abs to bring that leg up towards the ceiling. We're going to switch that rubber band into your right hand now. Turn your little baby pinky toe over to your other ear and just see if you can cross the midline a little bit until you feel that little bit of stretch up through the side of your leg. So deep breathing here. Breathe into it. Remember, you never want to cross midline if you've had a hip replacement, and we don't like internal rotation with hip replacement. So stay away from this particular stretch if that's the case. And then back towards the center, we're going to lift both legs up into the rubber band. Again, these exercises can be done without the rubber band. Rubber band provides a little bit of extra support for your low back. So if you do have back problems, it might be worth investing in one. Knees are nice and wide. We're steering them up towards the shoulder. Both hands are on the rubber band and they're over the chest. We're going to bring the legs out and together. Higher towards the ceiling is going to be easier. And we're going to tuck the knees in towards the chest. Lower is going to be more ab work, but we never go low enough that we feel that back arching or lifting away from the mat. Squeeze the knees together when you get out into that extension, and then with control, guide the knees in towards the shoulder. And press. And with control, tuck. And press, and tuck, and let's go 4 more, and tuck, and 3 more, and tuck, and 2 more, and tuck, and very last one, and tuck. Good job. Okay, we're going to just take that rubber band away from your feet, lower one and then the other, and roll over onto your side so that you're facing me. And remember, when we're on our side, we want to lengthen through the top hip, which should create a little room for a trail of ants to go under your waist. We want to have a little gap there. We never want to just relax, so we want to keep that core engaged. Heels and balls of the feet together. The neck's really relaxed as we bring both feet up, relaxing the neck and shoulders and just working those muscles between the ribs and the hips. 4, 3, 2, and down. Let's do that one more time. Squeezing inner thighs, nice long legs. You're trying to be as long from the top of your head to the tip of your feet as you can as you lift and hold. 4, relax the neck, 3, 2, and down. And now keeping that top waist long, we're going to press into the heel. Let's glue our big toes together, and we're just going to lift that leg up, so we're leading with the heel, and down. And 2, and down. And 3. This whole time we want to have the sensation that if somebody came up and gave you a gentle push, that they couldn't push you over. That's when we know we have some core engaged. And last one. Perfect. Now we're going to switch our foot position so the heels are together. We've got a little V and we're leading with the baby toe as we come up and just tap the heels together. And 2, and down. And 3, nice relaxed neck, and down. And 4, 2 more. And very last one. Perfect. Okay, from here we'll bring that knee all the way up, guide the other leg up into that bent knee position, and we're going to stack everything up here with the hips, belly button facing forward. And now from here we're thinking about the glutes as we press the heels together and open the knees up. So working those deep, deep glutes that really protect your back. Let's hold it there, relaxing the neck for 4, and 3, and 2. See how far you can open, and relax. Next 6 are going to be a little faster, just 6, and release. And 5, and release. And 4, and release. And 3, and release. We're almost there, just 2 more, and release. And very last one. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to lift that top leg up slightly. Pull your toes back to your nose, and we're going to bring that knee up towards your nose, and then think about pushing the wall away with your heel. And then guide that knee up towards your hand, and then push that wall away. And 3, and press. 3 more, and press. 2 more, and press. And very last one, and relax. Good job. Okay, now the top leg, your choice. If you've had a hip replacement, it stays behind, the bottom leg stretches out. If not, and your flexibility is okay to put that leg out in front, that'll make it a little bit harder. Right now we're going to start by gluing that little baby toe to the floor, and we're leading with the heel to lift that bottom leg up and down. And 2, and down. And 3, and down. Just 3 more, and down. 2 more, and down. And very last one. Okay, now we're going to change position. So now the heel's glued to the floor of that extended leg, and the big toe is lifted away from the floor. So now it's the big toe that's lifting, or leading that lift, and down. And 2, and down. Relax your neck. 3, and down. We're almost there. Just 3 more, and down. 2 more, and down. Very last one. You made it. Let's come over to our bellies now. This is where, if you have a pillow, the pillow will be a good support for that neck. If you don't have a pillow, just do one hand at a time and put your hand underneath, because we don't want to leave that neck unsupported. We're going to start with our hands nice and flat on the floor. And now we're going to make some snow angels, letting your arms come up to wherever you're pain-free to go, and down. Now if that's okay and you feel like you can make it a little harder, unweight the hands from the floor. And again, we only go to that range of motion that feels okay for your shoulders, up and down. And 3, and down. 2 more. 4, and down. And on the very last one, we're going to finish by bringing our hands all the way down till they touch your pants. And then slide your hands down towards your feet. If you have back problems, you might want to drop your heels in so they're facing each other. That might alleviate and really tighten the glutes, might alleviate some stress on that low back. And now give yourself a little bit of a double chin. And we're just going to gently unweight the forehead from your pillow, and then try to lift your hands up and turn the thumbs away from the body and up towards the ceiling, opening up that chest. 4, 3, 2, and down. Now let's do that 3 more times. Unweight the head, lift the hands, turn the thumbs up and away. 4, 3, 2, and down. 2 more. Unweight the head, lift the hands, drive the fingers down towards your feet. Get those shoulders out of the ears. And very last one, we're just going to lift and hold. Last 4 count. 3, 2, and down. Perfect. Okay, from here we're just going to push ourselves all the way back into a resting position. So the knees are really wide, and we're letting the hips drop back towards your heels. And then when you're ready, we're going to come up into a box position. So then, and this is where, if your knees bother you, you might just want to find a countertop to lean against, or you might want to put that pillow under your knees. We're going to make a little box. We're going to reach the left leg out without lifting. And then from here, really think about your glutes as you lift that leg up to whatever point you can lift without feeling stress in your low back and lower. Totally optional. This can be just a leg lift, or you can unweight the other hand if you want to make it more of a back exercise. And 3, and down. 3 more. And down. 2 more. And down. Very last one. Let's lift and hold. If you're okay to reach that arm away from your toes, try to make yourself as long as you can from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes. And down. Perfect. Let's come on up. Give our wrists a little break. And go the other way. 3 and 2. If this really bothers your wrists, just come down to your elbows. You don't need to stay up on your hands. We're going to reach the other leg out. Tighten up your abs, so pretend somebody's going to give you a push. We're going to unweight that leg and lift it to wherever that highest point is that you don't feel your back change, and down. You should feel no stress in the low back. Yeah, totally an option. If you want to unweight the other hand, you can. And 3. And 4. Let's go 1 more. Up and hold. And then if it's okay, reach that hand away from your toes. See how long you can be. 4 and 3. So working those muscles of your back. And down. Perfect. From here we're going to bring our head over to the other side of the mat. That way you'll still be facing me, and you can see what I'm doing to work the other side. So remember, top waist is long. Room for the little mouse to go under your waist. Legs are glued together to squeeze, lift, and hold. 4 and 3 and 2 and down. Trying to connect the balls of the feet, the heels, and the inner thighs as we lift and lengthen. Working those muscles between your ribs and hips. And down. Perfect. Okay, from here we're going to glue our heels together, making that little bit of a Pilates V. And we're leading with our little baby toe. Waist stays long as we just come on up and then tap the heels together. And 2, and down. And 3, and down. 3 more. And down. 2 more. And down. Very last one. And down. Now we're changing our foot position, so now our big toes are together and our heels slightly elevated from the other heel. Just going to lift, leading with the heel, and down, and 2, and down. Nice long leg as we lift, and lots of control as we lower, just tapping the toes. 3 more, 2 more. We're almost there. Very last one. Give that knee a big hug. It's been working hard. We're going to bend that bottom leg up for the clams. Stacking everything up here. Hips, belly button facing forward. Still a little room for the ants there. Feet are together. Open up the knees and close. Let's open and hold. See how far you can open without your hips or your body rolling. You want to keep the hip facing forward. Open, open, open. 4, 3, 2, and down. Let's go 5 more and release. 4 and release. 3 more and release. 2 more and release. Very last one. Splendid. Okay, from here we're going to lengthen that bottom leg out. Top leg, you decide, either behind or in front. And we're going to glue the heel to the floor and lead with that big toe. Just lifting and then just tapping that heel to the floor and lifting again. And down. And 3. And down. We've got 3 to go. Almost there. 2 more. And down. Very last one. Good job. Now we're changing our foot position so the baby toe's on the floor and the heel's just slightly elevated from the mat. And then we're going to lift and lower. And 2. And down. And 3. And down. Let's go 3 more. We're almost there. 2 more. And very last one. Good job. When you're ready, we're going to roll onto our backs. We've worked our hips from the side and from the back. Now let's work them from the front. So we're going to reach the left leg out as long as we can, like we're pushing against an invisible wall. Pay attention to the back of your hips and try to keep them level as you lift that, pushing into the heel, lift that leg up to knee height, and then point the toe and let it just lengthen and come down. Press into the heel, up to knee height, and then point the toe, drag it through the water to go down. Press into the heel and come up. Reach the toe and go down. Let's go 3 more and down. 2 more and down. On this very last one, we're going to draw the knee in towards the chest. Put your hands up and push, push, push that knee into your hands. And then relax and give that knee a great big old hug. Hold it tight behind the knee. And then pull your toes back towards your nose and straighten that leg out as much as it will straighten. Deep, deep, deep breathing. Let's go a couple more deep breaths. Perfect. And then when you're ready, let that leg just pop up, give it a shake. Trying to stay even through the back of the hips as we make our 3 circles. Circles can be as big as you like, as long as you can feel the back of your hips. Stay nice and still. And pause and reverse. So just stirring that femur into the hip joint where all that nice synovial fluid stored to lubricate that hip up and loosen it all up. It's like a little WD-40 for the hip. And then when you're ready, cross that leg over into a figure 4. Open up that knee as wide as you're comfortable. And relax. And now open again. And totally optional, if you can unweight that leg into a figure 4 stretch, feel free. If you can't, just stay down and keep opening that hip up with your foot on the floor. Nice deep, deep breathing while you're here. Shoulders are wide, the neck's relaxed. And release. Perfect. One more side to go. So switch switch legs. Imagine there's a wall there and you're trying to push that wall away with your right heel. The back of your hips is as level as they can be as you lift that leg up toward about knee height, and then point the toe and drag it down like you're in some water and you're pushing that water away. Press into the heel and up you go. Reach the toe as long as you can and down. Press into the heel, up we go. Reach the toe and down. 3 more and down. 2 more and down. And on this very last one, we're going to hold it up with the foot flex. Hand comes up. We're pushing that knee into the hand. So just waking up those hip flexors. And now relax. Give that leg a great big old hug. Pull your toes back to your nose and straighten that leg out as much as you can, but keep holding that leg tightly to the chest. Few more deep breaths. Find where you feel any sort of tension and draw that breath down deep into it, making sure those muscles are getting the oxygen they need. Let's go 1 more breath. Perfect. Let that leg go. Give it a shake. Even through the back of the hips as we draw those invisible circles in the sky. 3, 2, trying to avoid rocking those hips, keeping everything as still as possible, and reverse. So just stirring that leg into that hip joint. Last one. Cross it over into a figure 4. Use the muscles to open that hip up and relax. Again, open up through the hips. If it's okay, if your body allows you to lift that leg up into a figure 4 stretch, feel free. Try to keep the back of your shoulders wide so we don't want to be rounding up. And all we need to do here is breathe and let those hips relax and release. Couple more breaths. We're almost there. Let's go 1 more big breath. And then we'll lower everything down. And from here we're going to uncross the legs, let the arms come out to the side, the knees fall one way, and as they do, just let your head turn and look over the opposite hand. So just a little release for that low back. And now using your abs to let the knees come up and over as you turn the head and look over your other hand. And then back to the center. Thank you so much for joining me today. Looking forward to seeing you again next week. Enjoy the day. Bye-bye.